friendships last longer because they don't give a fuck about shit that does not matter.
Male friendships typically last longer because they have no intimacy or depth in their relationships. Men are not genuinely good at deep, intimate relationships. They're not really good at friendships in general, where there's commitment, where they're showing up for each other, where there's consistency, right? Men are typically shallow in this way. And when your relationships are shallow, they can last a long time because two shallow people are not really going to beef about many things. They'll talk about their sports or their games or their hobbies or whatever common interests they have, and they'll never talk to each other for 6 months, and they come back and do it again, and that's friendship. Look, it's important to know that there are different types of friendships. Like, we don't have to talk to people every single day to be close with them. That's not what I'm getting at. But what I am saying is that men need to learn how to have intimacy in their friendships for them to actually be good and deep. Because if they're just shallow, you're not getting the pain of loss, but you're also not getting the joy of love, and that's fucking important.
That's why women, I always tell you, if you're going to get in a romantic relationship with a male, you have to make sure he's serving a specific purpose to you. The only time that I can see that it's beneficial for a woman to get stuck with a male like that, it's never beneficial, but if you insist as a woman, right? Because we know women that insist. If you insist, the only time I can see, or the only thing that you can try to get from it is financial. Make sure he makes significantly more money than you, so then you don't have to stress out about the funds. And also make sure that he's not, at the very least, he's not despicable like Justy Diddy. You know what I mean? That's it. That's it. That's all you can ever get. Don't be trying to talk to him about emotional stuff and blah, blah, blah. He can't give you those things. He has the capability to do none of that. None of it. They don't even feel like, I don't know. I really don't even know how they go around existing, to be honest with you. Like, it's so weird to me because I'm a woman. So I don't really know. I can't even imagine how that must feel. Like, they kind of just walk around not feeling anything. It's so weird. Oh my God. But okay, their fear of rejection usually covers their whole life, right? It covers all aspects of it, including their friendships, right? So including fear of rejection of themselves, right? So that fear actually dives in a lot deeper. But to keep from going too far in depth with the psychological aspect of it, point being, ¿cómo están? Hi, my loves. How are you doing today? So I'm back with another video. Okay, so here we're going to talk a little bit more about a very interesting topic. Actually, I'm excited to talk about this one because it's something that comes up a lot. Okay, a lot, and especially from males. When males try to tell us like, oh, that's why you women can't remain friends. You guys can't ever stay friends, and da 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 da. Well, let's take a look at the truth behind male friendships. Okay, what is the truth? Okay, because males, they aren't capable of forming a relationship with themselves, much less forming actual friendships with each other. That's why there's a loneliness epidemic amongst males that continues to do nothing but increase, and these males keep hurting themselves. Like, they can't even express their feelings, they can't cry in front of each other, they can't do any of these things, and yet they call each other friends. Like, what are we, I'm not surprised though, right? Because we all know males operate off of a very delulu mindset, very confused mindset, right? Most of them anyway, most of them. So let's go ahead and take a look, and then of course at the end I'll come back with my thoughts on the situation. All right. Oh my gosh, I love you so much. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me. All right. Leave your comments below. Can't wait to hear what your thoughts are on this particular issue.
Women cannot be friends. Okay, a lot of people will be like, no, it's insecurity if you draw your own boundaries, blah, blah. Okay, you just don't understand biology. Men will sleep with women they don't even like, okay, if they find them attractive. You think if they like the values of this woman, on average, they won't sleep with them too, right? It's just repressed sexuality on average for men. Sometimes, on average, it's that. Sometimes it's women who want to date the guy. It's always one-sided, though, and they're just orbiting and sticking around. But sometimes in relationships, you'll have a guy or a girl who's like, no, I've known this person since childhood. We go back, we hang in the same friend group. First of all, as a woman, that's not disrespectful to you. It's non-appreciative of you. You're not making him happy enough that he has to get energy from this girl. Okay, then go date her, right? It doesn't make sense. So, and of course, if he likes her values, eventually his body's gonna also do something, right? If not, she's vying. If he says something like, oh, well, she probably likes me, I'm not into her. So why is he giving her the time of day then, right? That's him appreciating her energy in his life versus the one that you have with him. That is a form of disrespect in terms of the competency, she's saying that she has a better ability than you. What it'll really make you feel is underappreciated, though. So it's not so much about respect. It's just basic biology. Men and women can't be friends, okay? Hanging out in the same group where there's a lot of people, okay, that's one thing. But hanging out with her one-on-one and you're tolerating that, guess what? You're going to end up on the shafted stick of that. How many stories are there where after it breaks, they end up going with that other person? Don't allow it.
All of my friends are men. I don't have female friends. I don't. I'm incapable of that.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, because, come on.
Because you have a wife.
Well, I have a wife, and I don't really have female friends because, look, okay, let's get rid of this myth right here. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. Let's get rid of this right here. You're an attractive woman. There's some guy somewhere saying, yeah, we're friends. No, that's not true. He's your friend only because you have made it absolutely clear that nothing else is happening except this friendship we have. We remain your friends in hopes that one day there'll be a crack in the door, a chink in the armor. And trust and believe that guy that you think is just your buddy, he will slide in that crack the moment he gets the opportunity. Because we're guys.
Men think this way?
99.9% of us think that way.
Here's a test to prove that men and women cannot truly be friends. I want you to hit up your girlfriend right now and tell her to call up any of her guy friends or boy best friend and tell him that you guys broke up, that she's sad and feeling miserable, and that would he like to come over and hang out. If he takes that opportunity, he will sleep with her if he could. He's just playing a bench. He's just playing second fiddle. And this is what a lot of women do not want to realize, that a lot of their guy friends in their life would take the opportunity if presented to them. This is why men are not okay with women having guy friends, because we know how men think. If the opportunity is presented to us on a platter, most guys would sleep with your girlfriend. So as a woman, you need to eliminate these guy friends because they're just playing their part until your relationship is in jeopardy.
Can men and women ever be just friends? Well, the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche had a pretty interesting theory about this, where he basically said that yes, it's possible for men and women to be friends, but under one condition, which was, quote, that there is some physical antipathy between them, which is another way of saying that Nietzsche believed that men and women could only be friends if they weren't physically attracted to each other. Because if there's some physical attraction, then this could easily turn into something else. You would either be lovers or friends with benefits, as we put it today. And so Nietzsche's argument is essentially that it's totally okay for men and women to be friends, but one of them shouldn't be attracted by the other. And personally, I think this is quite true, that friendship between men and women is important, but if one of them develops feelings for the other and they remain unrequited, it can be painful indeed. At least that was Nietzsche's experience.
Male friendships are unreal. My boyfriend was telling me that one of his friends, whenever he gets a girlfriend, will disappear for months at a time until that relationship inevitably ends, and they're just friends again. And I was like, oh, that doesn't bother you? And he was like, what do you mean? I feel like women would let that fly maybe once, but multiple times. If you just ditch all your girlfriends, you're not going to come back to friends. Another one of his friends just got divorced, literally married and divorced by 30, slay. And I needed the tea, so he hung out with that friend, and I was like, oh, so like, what did he say about the divorce? And he was like, oh, we didn't talk about it. I was like, okay, what'd you talk about? And he was like, sports. Out of curiosity, whenever he hangs out with his friends, I just ask like, oh, any interesting story, any tea? And he's always like, no. And I'm like, what did you talk about? And he's like, sports. And for men, that's a solid friendship. But as a woman, if you're only talking about surface level things like TV, that's an acquaintance.
The homies, I don't know their birthday until the day of, straight up. And nobody cares.
I have been itching to talk about this, so let's talk about it. There's been this ongoing joke that women fall out over anything with their friends, but men have friendships that last a lifetime, so it seems like men make better friends than women, but that can't be any further from the truth, and here is why. The reason why male friendships seem to last a lifetime is because they lack depth. Most men do not prioritize intimacy and emotional connection the way women do in our female friendships. A lot of men have surface level friendships with their friends. They only bond over sports, music, or shared interests like going to the club. This man just admitted on camera that he doesn't even know most of his friend's birthday until the day of. That would literally never happen in a female friendship because we actually prioritize getting to know each other beyond the surface level interests. Most men do not connect with their friends emotionally like women do, and that's why their friendships seem to last a lifetime, because they don't actually know each other beyond a surface level. Of course, male friendships seem to last forever because they're not actually bonding with each other. All they know is watch football game and go to club. They don't actually sit with each other and bond and open up emotionally and share intimate moments together in their lives the same way women do. That's why it seems like women are always falling out with our friends, because we actually have a solid relationship that goes beyond the surface. So when that intimacy and that trust is shattered, of course, we don't want to be friends with that girl anymore. Whereas men, they only bond over hookah and basketball. So there's not really much there to disrupt. This is also another reason why statistically, and please research this, men have higher suicide rates than women do, because when they are going through things, they feel like they have nobody that they can turn to, nobody that they can talk to. Although you're at the club every weekend with 7 different guys, you don't feel comfortable enough to confide in any of them because you don't actually know them. Women have a stronger support group within their friends because we actually open up and we actually build that intimacy that men do not. I say all of this to say that women tend to fall out more with our friends because our relationships are actually more complex than male friendships. Not because we don't know how to be good friends. And certainly not because men make better friends.
When they say, oh, my friends, those aren't friends. Those are acquaintances. Males are just uneducated when it comes to every area, including emotions. And so they call everyone and anyone friends, right? That's why they walk around and not caring about anything. And they say, oh, my friendship has lasted years and years. The same thing that they say about marriage. My marriage has lasted years and years and years. Meanwhile, the same wife that they're talking about the marriage has lasted years and years and years for has tried to divorce them 4 times already. But they won't tell you that, though. They don't remember that, though, right? So, so think about these things and kind of process through it. It's just the logic of the whole thing, right? This is just how they operate in every single dynamic. You can see the pattern. It just continues to repeat itself, even in the marriage dynamic. I've been married for 23 years. Meanwhile, the wife is probably asking for a divorce as we speak, as he says that. The wife has tried to divorce him at least 2 or 3 times in that time. So the wife is miserable. And so the fact that he was married for 23 years means nothing. It says nothing about him or his character, right? It only says that this woman has been willing to put up with a lot of things and lose herself within that dynamic and relationship, okay? For one reason or the other, whether it's financial, fears of financial stability or whatever the case may be, or kids, right? But this male remains a male, typically despicable in character, okay? Same with their friendships, even the friendships with themselves. They operate in the exact same way. Oh, what are the scores in a football game? That's all they talk about. They don't even know each other. They could be acquaintances for years, for 10 plus years. They won't even know each other's birthday, y'all. It's like you literally, all you have to do is put that on a calendar. Like it's not hard. Just put that on a calendar so you can remember your friend's birthday. They won't even do that much. Ladies, let's process through this, right? Like let's just literally process through this on a realistic level. If you can't form a relationship with yourself or in a genuine friendship with yourself, how in the world are you going to get out there and expect that you're able to form genuine relationships and friendships with other people? Men cannot, to save their lives, males cannot do this. They have no friendships. What they walk around calling friendships are not friendships. And unfortunately, a lot of women do this too, and they make this mistake. The positive thing about when women make this mistake as far as labeling anyone and everyone friends, when not everyone and everyone is your friend, right? Like there's different categories to this. Most people are probably just acquaintances. They're just probably people that you knew or that you've met or that you've seen, or maybe every now and then you hang out with or you spend time with. That doesn't make them your friend. Okay, so we need to learn the more varied vocabularies and labels so that we are more adequately placing people in the correct categories, right? But the nice thing about women is that women learn very, very quickly, because women, we are able to invest more in relationships, especially emotionally. So therefore, we learn a lot quicker. Right? So when we invest that much, at least the non-pick-me-shas, right? I got to speak for the non-pick-me-shas. The pick-me-shas, unfortunately, I don't know that they ever make it, but the non-pick-me-shas, we learn a lot quicker, right? So when you invest that much emotionally and you get burned, or you start realizing, well, wait a second, like I'm not really seeing that you're putting in the same amount of effort. You start realizing, oh, okay, perhaps I put this person in the wrong category. Perhaps there's other categories. Perhaps there's other labels. But it takes a certain level of being open and being open to those experiences and being able to go through those experiences in order to learn those things. Males don't have the same capability. They don't have the same capacity. Okay, they can't open up. They don't have emotions. They don't even know what emotions are. They don't even know how to label or properly label their emotions. And I kid you not, I can't remember what he said. We were talking about something about being tired of something, and he was like, I can't even think of a word for that feeling. I don't think that's a feeling because I can't think of it. And literally it was, and I said to him, what do you mean you can't think of a word for a feeling so you don't think it's a feeling? It's literally being sad. That's a feeling. So you just say, oh, I'm sad. He's like, oh yeah. So they just don't think in that way. The processing of emotions, so it's virtually non-existent for males. And that's why you see that the loneliness epidemic within males in the male group is getting higher and higher, and it's significantly higher. But not only is it higher, it's a lot more dangerous for males, because when women get lonely, they end up being able to rely on themselves, on each other. They go to therapy. They take all these active steps because they're usually more in tune with their emotions and themselves, right? Or they have more of a capacity for being so, versus males, right? They literally wouldn't even know where to start. They're not even formulated in that way. So they can't actually build that type of a species. There's no way they can't build genuine friendships. Those aren't real friendships. Those are acquaintances. And they've just been mislabeling it this whole time. They've just been calling it the wrong thing. It's like, oh no, you're not friends. Okay, you're just acquaintances. All right, like that's it. Like, so males don't know how to be friends with other males, and males also don't know how to be friends with women. And that's why I've made videos on my channel about males being friends with women. And I've told you, women, don't be friends with males. It's a pointless endeavor. It's a waste of time. It's not even the type of friendship that you would like, right? Because they don't talk about anything in depth. They don't talk about anything important. They're always just talking about sports and surface level things. It's like, what's the point? And most of the time, 99.9% of the time, they're objectifying you anyway. So if you were to allow them to sleep with you, even if they're not attracted to you, they'll do it. They will do it 99.9% of the time. So what's the purpose of having one of those types of species around you for no purpose? You know what I mean? So I've made videos on this. If you haven't gotten caught up on that, make sure to get caught up on that. But there's really no point in having male friends, in my opinion, because it's just biology. It's simple biology. It really is. Unless you're using him for something, and he's serving some specific purpose to you, right? Like, there is no reason for this male to be around. There really just isn't. Even childhood friends, you know what I mean? Like, if it's a male, he probably won't hesitate to sleep with you. And that's kind of gross, you know what I mean? Like, because for women, it's like when we put males in friend zone, that's where they're at. You're not coming out of that zone most of the time, unless she's like plastered or drinking or going through a hard time. And unfortunately, that's what these males wait for. So making them even more despicable when it comes to their character, right? They're waiting for you to just have that little slight opportunity. She's having an off day or whatever, just so they can take advantage of you. So the whole thing just becomes cringeworthy once you sit down and take the time to process it. But ultimately, the point being that, okay, males aren't capable of friendships. So if males aren't capable of friendships, think about this. If males aren't capable of friendships, in what world do you think that they would be capable of anything more than a friendship, such as a romantic relationship? In no world would that exist. That's just their biology. So that's kind of what it comes down to. They're not friends with each other. They can't be. When all you talk about is sports and all you talk about is like video games, like, you're not friends, you're acquaintances. You don't even know each other. You know what I mean? Like, and I've had multiple of those experiences where, I'll ask the male that maybe I was talking to, and I'll say like, oh, what did you guys talk about? Because he'll say, oh, I hung out with my friends. Oh, nothing. We just like play video games. And even I've even had males tell me like, oh yeah, like my friend is talking to this girl, and I'll say something like, is that the same friend that you told me has a girlfriend? And he'll say, yeah. And I was like, and I'm literally shook, right? So I'll say something like, okay, so how's he talking to another girl if he has a girlfriend? I'm so confused. And he's like, I don't know. Like, this is actually a specific circumstance that I'm thinking about. That's why I'm reiterating in such a specific way, because I'm actually thinking about it. But he was like, I don't know. We don't talk about that. And I can't make this up, y'all. I cannot make this up. So this is how they think. This is how they operate. They don't have the capability or the capacity. So when they say friends, they're just mislabeling it because most of them are uneducated anyway. And of course they're mislabeling it because most of them don't even know what emotions go with what labels, or they don't even know how to do emotions in the first place, because fundamentally there's that fear of rejection, and that fear of rejection spreads even further than their fear of being rejected by a woman. Don't be friends with no males. Complete waste of time. All right? Like, complete waste of time. Like, it's not possible. It just doesn't make any sense. The males aren't capable. They are not capable. They aren't capable of forming friendships. So it doesn't make sense. But anyways, y'all, leave your comments below. Oh my gosh, I love you so much. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me. All right. Leave your comments below. Can't wait to hear what your thoughts are on this particular issue. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.